Hello, welcome to So You Think You Want to Coach. My name is Durante Polite, collegiate basketball coach, and I'm here to give you part 2. If you haven't seen part 1, just check the description section. You'll be able to see that, the link to part 1. Please go check it out. As you know, I'm a collegiate basketball coach, and this channel is kind of dedicated to young coaches who are thinking about people who want to be coaches, think they want to be coaches, or young coaches who want to kind of progress in their career. As I said, I'm beginning my 11th season and just kind of want to share information to kind of help people out. And so I hope you enjoyed what we talked about last week as far as just getting a start, just starting somewhere, digging into it. And then I can't wait to share what I have to share with you this week. Before we go further, make sure you subscribe and you like. And then I also have a special message from our sponsor. And it is the Playbook Journal. All right, the Playbook Journal. Coaches, get it. All right, go out and get it. The link is below. We have the brown version, looks like a basketball. We have a black version as well, but it is filled with custom diagrams and things like that. You have your half court, you have your full court, you have your lines. I use it for all of my scout information. So as you can see, you know, I got everything in here with my scouts. I use it for when I'm watching, like, you know, NBA, WNBA games, even some AAU games, high school games. Like if I see something I like, I write it down and, you know, we'll put it in. This is, look how I can hold this in my hand, so it's easy to transport. It's a A4 size. We are coming out with a little bit bigger version of a B5, like the size of a composition notebook. But go get your Playbook Journal today. All right. Amazon is a prime item, so a lot of times they ship out in no time, in just a couple of days if you have a Prime membership. But yeah, the Playbook Journal, links are below. So as I stated, we're back here for episode 2. Last week, we talked about just getting your start somewhere. Again, if you haven't watched that, make sure you go check that out. But this week, what I want to jump into is just understanding your power as a coach. I don't want to jump into like your why and purpose and mission statements or anything like that. I just want you to understand, like, before you do this thing, you really need to, and if you're in this thing, just understanding the amount of power that you have. Understanding what comes with the role of coach. I mean, you're talking about instant credibility. Instant credibility when you're a coach, to be able to speak into people's lives. Like young people will open up to hear what a coach has to say a lot of times before their parents, right? Before people, close people, blood relatives, you know, their friends' parents. Like, there's something about that word coach where we let people in, right? You life coaches, right? Like adults, they allow life coaches to kind of speak into their lives a different way than they allow other people. Life coach can be honest, say things that, you know, are just brutally honest, where somebody else off the street or even family members, they can't get away with saying that to you. But because they're a coach, they get a chance to be honest and speak those things to you. And so you have to understand that. All right. And when you can understand that, it'll allow you to, you know, if you're doing it for the right reasons, it'll allow you to act appropriately. Because there are people who understand that. They understand that power and they use it in the wrong way. They use it negatively, and that leads to like abuse. It leads to negative sport experiences for young people. And sometimes it causes them to leave the sport altogether. You know, some of it leads to like destructive lifestyles because of things where people who had the power, coaches who had the power, and they used that power in a negative way. So you got to understand that. That's first and foremost. Understanding, knowing that with this thing comes a lot of responsibility, because right from the jump, I have a lot of power. I have instant credibility. There have been times where I never forget when I was coaching high school and we were playing a team, and after we played them, I had said something to like the father, and I was like, yeah, you know, I had a chance to see some things before the game, you know, some things that she can be working on. And I named like 2 or 3 things. And the father was like, man, I've been telling them this. And he said, can you go and tell her that? And again, I'm an opposing coach. But that's the thing. That's the power that coaches have, like that we allow it in our society. That's just kind of what it is. Whereas a lot of parents could be telling their child the same thing, saying something, A, B, and C. Child, like it goes one ear and out the other, or don't even go in the ear. But with the coach come through A, B, C. Next thing you know, they got a plan. They working on it. You know, it hit different when you have that title coach, right? And so that represents some power. That represents some credibility. And so it's important that you know that and that you use that in the right way. It's important that you know that and you separate being coach and, like, you know, flirting with those lines of friend and that type of stuff. And again, I'm not saying like friendships can't build over time as you get older. You know, my coach now, my high school coach, he calls me a friend. It's kind of weird for me that but we are friends. But it's still weird for me because I view him as coach. Like, I don't view us as like peers. You know, I view him as my coach and he's up here. But it's important that you understand that, because that's going to affect like how you move. That's going to affect your social media, like what you liking and reposting and posting on social media, because you understand the influence that you can have on your players. It's going to affect how you talk around them. It's going to affect how you interact with them, right? Because you understand the power that you have to be able to speak into their lives. And because of that power that you have to speak into their lives, it should affect how you talk to them, what you talk to them about, all those different type of things. And if you don't understand the power that you're going to have, you can be reckless, right? You can be reckless and you're not being this positive influence that you should be. And that's not going to be a good thing. So it's very, very important that you understand that you don't just jump into this thing because of, and again, I'm not trying to jump into like the why and the purpose, but this is kind of part of that. But I'll have another discussion that'll dive a little bit deeper into that. But, you know, if you jump into this thing for the glory, championships and all that type of things, and you don't understand the power that you have, you're going to look back and it's going to be a very destructive path. I mean, a very destructive path. And instead of building young people up, you're going to be tearing young people down, because it's about you and it's not about them. And so this thing has to be about them. And when you understand the power that you have, and you make it about them, that can lead to a lot of positive things. But with that power that you have and that instant credibility that you have to speak into their lives, to be an authoritative voice on certain things, right? Where they're going to listen to you. Where you say go left, they're going to go left. You say go right, they're going to go right. When you have that power and you understand that and you make it about you, that ain't going to go well. That ain't going to end well, and it's going to get found out about. So when you jump into this thing, all right, understand that power, respect that power, so that you can use that power appropriately, that you can use it in a positive manner, not a negative manner, that you can use that power to better them and not to better you. And make sure you're not ignorant of that power, right? Because when you're ignorant of that power, then you begin to lay off responsibilities that come with this thing. Because it's not just X's and O's. It's not just what you do in practice. It's bigger than that. I mean, because when you coach, you come with that level of instant credibility, that authoritative voice to be able to speak into their lives. And so it can't just be about X's and O's. And it can't just be about practice. It's going to more than likely, and then again, a lot of it depends on their household situation, things like that. But a lot of times, more times than not, man, that coach, man, that just hit different. What's said by coach, what's done by coach, it hits a lot differently. And so you need to understand that power so that you can wield that power in the correct way. So that's all I have for you today. And, you know, I want these videos to be short. I think last week went a little bit longer than what I wanted it to be. But hopefully this is good information for those of you who are thinking about it, who are in it, wanting to progress. And maybe it's some good reminders for those that have been in this thing for a while. But again, like I said, this is my 11th season, and I just kind of want to share, want to give knowledge. And so we'll kind of build throughout the weeks. Hopefully at some point in time, I'll be able to throw in some drills, some of my favorite drills and things like that. But until next time, make sure you subscribe, like, and you share it with other people, other young coaches. And I think, this could be good information for other people too, who might not necessarily be in the coaching thing, but you might be into some type of leadership role or things like that. So yeah, make sure you share with other people. If you know someone that, you want to start coaching, think they'll be a great coach. Because I'll tell you, I kind of feel like I got called into this thing. I was doing the basketball training thing. Didn't necessarily know I wanted to do the coaching thing, and somebody presented the opportunity. And so maybe you need to give someone that push, and maybe these videos can help. But until next time, this is Durante Polite signing off from So You Think You Want to Coach. Have a good week.